Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Marvel Snapcast, episode 25. I'm Ken, here with Luke. How you doing, Luke?
What's up?
Having a good time?
Absolutely.
Oh, we have a lot to talk about, right?
Yes, for sure.
Oh boy. All right. So we didn't want to talk about it by ourselves. So we have some guests here with us. First, we're going to pull in this person makes amazing decks on the internet. I'm sure a bunch of us have utilized her card lists. Let's welcome Shade to the podcast. How you doing, Shade?
I'm good, thank you. It was a really nice introduction. I appreciate that. Probably way too much credit.
No, come on. You know it's the truth. You know it's the truth. And of course, we can't talk about patch notes, new cards, etc., without talking about Mr. Marvel Snap himself, Kawa, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
look, your boy's right behind me. He's right behind me. Super excited to talk about Jeff. Can't wait.
It looks like he's
Oh,
trying to
boy.
eat your head.
It's for real. Oh man. All right. So listen, we're all here for one reason, talking about Marvel Snap. And today there's a new card that came out. Before we talk about this card, do we want to dive into which one of us got the card today first?
I think we should. I think we should talk about it because I don't want. I don't
Okay.
want it to like go under the
Okay.
ropes. But
Okay.
yeah, we can talk about it.
Did I get
Alright,
it
so-
first out of all of us?
Yeah, I think you got
Uh,
a first shade. Yeah.
I think I did.
When did you get it?
I woke up at 8 and it was in my shop. So 8 a.m. PST, PDT.
Okay.
You got it like
So
I
12?
want to say like 3 or 4 hours before it was
Yeah.
supposed to be quote unquote out. You know.
And it was close too, because the only cards. Oh no, because I was missing Ghost and Snow Guard.
Mm.
So I was gonna
So you
say
didn't
if
have full
I.
collection.
Yeah.
I
So
did
she's
not
got
have a
full
full
collection. Yeah.
collection.
So
All right, Luke did too, right? Luke got it around the same time.
Yep, right after the patch. Yep.
Interesting.
yeah.
And Luke, do you have a full collection as well?
Nope.
Nope. Well,
Suspicious.
Kawa.
Mm.
Kawa, did you get it at that 12 o'clock or the time that Luke and Shay got it?
I don't believe I did, Ken. And you know what? I am full collection. So yeah.
Oh, so am I. Okay.
Mm.
So then the refresh happened again at 3 p.m. Eastern time. Did
Yeah.
you get it then too?
I didn't get it then. Did you get it then?
No.
Oh man.
Okay.
Wait, so
So-
you're telling me that you guys are both full collection, and neither of you were offered the card the first time around, but also you were not offered it the second time around.
Nope.
No, I felt we would have to wait until the late refresh. So 11 p.m. Eastern, I thought I had to wait to get it. But then the awesome people at Second Dinner reached out to us and asked those content creators who have a full collection and have an issue to give up our ID,
Snap IDs. Yeah.
Snap IDs. And then shout out to Molly. She went out and manually added Jeff to the shop.
There was a big list of people that they were going through.
Yes.
But I know luckily now they did say that. Like I saw a few things on Twitter saying, are you only doing this for content creators? Like, no, they have there's like a hot fix out for it now. So if you load up,
Right.
it should be in your shop. But again, I'm just glad that they were able to fix this because like Ken was saying, it seems like I know it did affect other people that aren't full collection, but I didn't see anyone who has a full collection get Jeff at the time. So like it was super important to fix that because as content creators who, you know, like market the game and are showcasing all the newest content, if we're spending all this money and we're not getting the card, then you know it's not a great thing to not a great situation. But hey, at least they fixed it.
Agreed. So shout out to them for that. I totally agree with that, Cal. Also the variants. Like I see Shade have some awesome ultimate variants. I didn't get any. I don't know what's going on, but it's okay. It's all right. We're not talking about variants today. So
you know the
of
saddest
course-
part about that actually is that I had the Peach Fumoko Invisible Woman in my shop at like the same time that the Jeff one came up, and
That hurts my heart.
I had to take my dog to the groomer, and so I forgot to buy it, and then the shop refreshed and it was
Oh,
gone.
no.
Damn, that sucks.
Yep.
Because that's the one I want the most. So
Yeah, it's really nice.
I hope it shows up in my shop tonight. All right. So the card we were talking about for the whole time, Jeff, the Babyland Shark, ladies and gentlemen.
Baby J.
So yes. So
Hefe.
this card
Mm.
basically is you can move this once Nothing can stop you from moving or playing this in any location. Luke, how do you feel about that?
So I was lucky enough to get it. I have been unlucky and haven't been able to play a lot of games with it, but everyone's been super excited for this card. I've definitely been hyped for the card. I've actually been playing it in Cerebro 3, and a lot of people definitely don't see it coming in that list. So being able to move it around, with the 5 or 7 power is fantastic.
Professor X is a 3
yeah.
power to it.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay, I like
I'm
that.
trying out Professor X in that list. I don't know how much I like it before. I've tried Jeff just by itself in Cerebro 3, and then I've tried changing a few things like adding Professor X and stuff. So, but I like Jeff so far. Haven't seen him played against me though, but that may also be the issue of people having a hard time getting them. So.
Okay, that's fair. Shade, what about you? How you feel about Jeff so far?
I think that it's potentially a tiny bit overhyped compared to like how excited people really were for him. I think that he is really good. I don't know. He's not 6,000 tokens good. He's not a big bad. But I was excited about, like, this is probably the first time in, I want to say, like 4 or 5 card releases now where I've not really had any issues like throwing lists together. I had four of them ready to go for him this morning. And that was a little bit of a struggle for Snowguard. That was also a little bit of a struggle for Negasonic, but I also feel like that was kind of on me a little bit because Kawa and I have been playing with her a lot now, and it's really good. But
Yeah,
that's
really
besides
good.
the point. Yeah, I don't know. I think Cerebro 3 is a really good place for him. I've been playing him in a Sandman list because he negates the Sandman Electro effect. And then I also put him in the Valkyrie, my original Valkyrie control list, and Kawa and I played with that this morning, and that was pretty fun too. So I think he's fun. I just don't think he's a Series 5 card. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Fair enough. Kawa, I know we got him later, but so far, how do you feel about him? What's your thoughts?
I think honestly the list that I've played him in the most, where I think he's most effective, is actually probably the Sandman list. And it's weird. It's not even like when Sandman or Electro's down, then you play him. Like I'm still playing him early before I can even come, and he's still really, really good. That might just be me thinking like, maybe he's not good. Maybe just that list in general is good. Just like Ramp Sandman is just good in general. But yeah, I mean, we were playing some games earlier, and I want to give credit to Shade here. We played against this one dude where
oh my god,
it was back-to-back games, and he played Valkyrie Control with a Jeff in it, and then the next game he played Cerebro 3 with Jeff in it, and we checked the cards. It was Shade's exact list, so we were like, this dude literally looking on either her Twitter or Snapchat fan, and went from one list to another list of testing Jeff, and I've never experienced that before. But yeah, we beat him using the Valkyrie list, but then he stomped us with the Cerebro list. So I know, like you're saying, Luke, the Cerebro list, I haven't tried it yet, but it seems like that's a good place for him.
That's awesome. See that?
The only thing that scares me about playing Cerebro 3 is I don't know how common Red Skull is still going to remain after the Shuri changes. So if he does still show up a frequent amount, then that really, really messes with Cerebro just inherently as a card. So that would be like my main concern with playing Cerebro just in general, but like also Cerebro 3.
I don't think Cerebro can really be, in my opinion, in general, Cerebro, it's very hard to make it consistent. There's so many factors, be it locations, be it, I know you have like Luke Cage to counteract stuff, but like to make a list super consistent with Cerebro is very difficult in my opinion.
No, I totally agree. I played with him right before this call. I had one match, and I had Storm. I stormed the location. Kylan was on the left. They played Bass there, left him there. I stormed the middle location. I played Shuri, and then it flooded. I played Jeff on Shuri on that flooded location. Went to 6, and then
my God,
at the end of the game, I moved them to Kylan, and I won those 2 locations. So
Really,
my first experience was cool, but that's about it.
That's a big baby shark.
Yeah. I was 6. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh my
But yeah,
god, that just makes me
look at these
think like
variants.
you could do like could you do so say you do Shuri on 4 and we had a game earlier where we got this card from Camp Lehigh. So if you do Shuri on 4 and then you already have Jeff in like a separate lane and you play Hulkbuster.
No. Oh, Hulkbuster. No, you can't move Jeff to Shuri.
Oh
That
yeah,
won't work.
you'd have to
Play on
Yeah.
Shuri.
well, even if you did play on Shuri and then did hit the thing, yeah, that wouldn't work. Yeah, you're
The
right.
Hulkbuster game that we had was interesting though, because it was like, I mean, it's a 5 power play, right? It's a 5/6 or a 5/7. So
5,
you're basically playing
yeah.
like a naked stature.
I got you.
And you can move it
Or
around.
you'd have
yeah.
to move
But it can
Jeff
move, yeah.
somewhere else and then
Mhm.
play the
It's a vision.
Hulkbuster on Jeff.
It's a vision that can move one time.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it's
go.
kind of like actually it is. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
yeah, well, see, what's funny is you were talking about your first games with Jeff. My first game, I actually bar sinistered Jeff, and that was really fun.
Oh.
Wow.
I
That
bar
would look
sinister
good.
and had the Cerebro Mystique for turn 6. So
That's
just
wild.
big
Amazing.
Jeff's moving everywhere.
That's amazing.
Tech, you
look at these
mentioned
variants. Yeah.
Storm and Jeff. I'll send you the. I don't know if you saw it already, but I'll send you the Quake Jeff list.
Ooh, that sounds good. All right, yeah. Send it over. We'll take a look at that. Jeff has some awesome variants. Can't say I like these. I do. Dan hips, not bad. But I do like the chibi one the most. Look at those cute eyes with the.
I mean, you just can't go wrong with Rianne.
Oh no! Look
Like
at that.
literally, there's not a single bad Rianne.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I like the Pokemon looking glasses and face. It just looks great. And this holding baby Jeff, it's not bad. It's like holding a little baby. So I get it.
Kawa, you said something earlier. I don't know who you heard it from. He said like you know a card has good variants when the Dan Hip one is the worst.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
If you look at Spider-Man 2099, which I'm sure we're going to get into when we talk about the leaks and stuff like that, all of his variants are so good that somehow the worst one is Dan Hip. So they must be doing something right. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I feel about this one. It's like of all of them, even the base art one, I feel like Dan Hip one is like the one that's the one I don't like the most.
Yeah,
that is fair.
Mm.
I totally agree with that. All right. So speaking of that, we're going to dive into the Kitty Pride update. So I don't know if everyone in this chat got Kitty Pride. I know Loot did not.
I didn't.
Tower, I know you did.
I did.
Shade, what about you?
I absolutely did, and I definitely redeemed my 8,000 tokens and my avatar this morning.
That is awesome. So yeah, so we're going to talk about how awesome that is right now. So as you guys know, Kitty Pride came out. It was good for like a couple of days, and then they pulled it back because of a bunch of issues it was having. We spoke about this on some other podcasts, but they did mention that they're going to reimburse us. Last week's podcast, if you guys check it out, I'll leave a link down below. Loot mentioned that they're going to give us back X, Y, and Z. I'm gonna let Luke take it from there.
It was my dream scenario. It was like from what I was hearing, everything with Twitter and stuff. I was like, this is the only way it's going to make it possible. And basically, you and Drew called me crazy. It was like, there's no way that's going to happen. And then they did it, but even better because I was like, oh, the 6,000 tokens, but they gave 8,000.
Yeah, we did call Luke crazy for them giving us back 6,000 tokens, and they said we put 2 more on top of that, give us 8,000, which is pretty good. But the biggest thing here is Kitty Pride is coming back in 4 weeks from today, but she has a new design now. So instead of you pulling her back and getting +2 power, it's whenever it returns back to your hand. And it looks like she's going to automatically go back to your hand after every turn or start of each turn. How do you guys feel about that new design? I'll start with Shade with that one.
I mean, I don't think that this is great. I think that the main issue here is that from my point of view, as someone who's kind of been following Snap for a really long time, they've had these cards in development for years at this point. Like Snap has been in development for like 3 or 4 years now. So to see something release at the level of complete and utter chaos that Kitty Pryde released at is like really scary as a player who's severely invested in the success of this game on every level. Like, I wanted to succeed as a game in general. I wanted to succeed in the esports world. I wanted to just succeed, right? And so like when you see something like this that is just like how was this missed is my biggest concern, because you have to be playtesting, and if she released like this to the point where they're like, yeah, our engine literally can't handle it, and we would have to completely redo our entire game engine in order to put her back in the game the way that she was, then I'm just sitting here like, how much time did you guys spend playing with this card before she came out? Because it was 2 days that she was in the game before she got brought back out.
It's
And
interesting. Yeah, it's sorry to interrupt you. It's interesting that you said that, but like even like myself and Luke, we looked at Kitty Pryde like a while back when we were looking at like the lead cards and stuff, and she had she still had the same effect. She just didn't have the +2 added, so she still had like like player and then be able to pull her back and stuff. So yeah, like she has been there for a while, and it's also a thing of like like with that type of effect, it's so unique, right? It's like you put it down, you can't pick it back up again. Like if they want to do something as complex as that, because it is quite complex, like with how the game is coded and stuff like that, then there should be extensive testing and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, sorry again to interrupt you there, but for my general view of like what the card does now, like it kind of doesn't like it's fine. It's just it's worse than what it was. But then at the start, like it's like if you've had this in development for so long and this is what you think it is, and then you realize, oh, we can't do it so far down the line, and it is a bit disappointing to, I'd say, them as well, but also obviously the players.
I think the biggest thing about her new design that's like a huge negative for me is that because she's a 1-cost card, you can play her on turn 1, bring her back, play her again on turn 2, and like if you were to play her again on either turn 2 or turn 3 before the third location is revealed, if you play her, like Sanctum Sanctorum pops up and she gets brought back to your hand when she was already there because it hadn't been revealed yet, that's a problem. Like I wouldn't have chose to bring her back to my hand there. I would have left her there for the 2 power on the board to help me win that location. So there's just a lot of instances, I feel like, where, first of all, this is just not the same card anymore. Second of all, they don't really mention anywhere in here about fixing the issues, quote unquote, or like bugs, I guess, if you want to call them that, with Beast and Collector. They don't mention that anywhere in this post.
Well, they don't mention it here, but they do say later on that Beast should work with her now.
What about Collector, though?
I haven't seen anything about that. I just saw the Beast post. Someone asked specifically about Beast, and they confirmed that Beast should work now.
Beast and Falcon, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, and Falcon.
Yeah, Falcon will work as well.
I mean, it should work with Collector, right? I mean, in that case, it should work. But yeah, I didn't think about that. I thought you're going to return it to your hand anyway, right? So it being automatic is fine, but you're right. If something comes up and you didn't want it to move, that's going to really suck. So I totally get that. What about? Oh, that's turn 6 anyway. Okay, I was gonna say, what if she got leech? Would that become a problem? But I guess her ability's gone. The game should know not to pull her back, right?
Yeah.
I think that she's going to get pulled back, but I think it's going to be a matter of which activates first. Will the leech activate first and then she gets pulled back to your hand, or does she get pulled back to your hand after the leech? Because that's going to really, really suck if leech activates, or if she gets pulled back to your hand and then leech activates and takes away her ability. That sucks.
Yeah.
Especially if it takes away all the power that she accumulated.
That would reduce her buff, right? Would it?
Yes, it should.
I would assume so. Yeah, it takes away her ability.
We've never really seen a debuff like that from the hand, I don't think. But yeah, I would imagine so. Just an interesting point I want to say about that kind of order thing. I had an interaction with the new leech where I had Mindscape and I had leech. I was like, which one works first? Because it's like at the start of turn 6, right? So it's like from how I thought about it, I'm like, maybe it works from when things come into play or whatever. Because like Mindscape was the second location to pop, right? And then I played leech. So maybe it's whatever order they occur, or maybe location ordering just occurs before that kind of card effect ordering.
Well, they have a tooltip in the game when you're loading up the game and you're starting it, that
Mhm.
says on reveal or like it's something that card effects will trigger prior or before location of effects trigger. So if that's accurate, then Leech should trigger before Mindscape. But I don't know. Is that what happened?
Yeah, no, it didn't work. No.
Oh, okay.
Mindscape triggered, and then because the way I wanted to do it was I didn't want to like leech myself, if that makes sense.
Right.
So what happened was the hands did swap, and then I leeched them, if that kind of makes sense. Yeah. So it's
But that's
weird.
the opposite of what they say it should be.
But it's not on reveal though. It's different. Like, and I don't know.
Yeah.
It is weird.
He's
Yeah.
no longer on reveal. You're right. We'll dive into him shortly too.
Mhm.
But as far as Kitty Pryde goes, I guess we all agree. I don't know, Luke, how do you feel? It's not.
So yeah, I agree. With one thing for sure that I agree with is I feel like if your system, your game system, it cannot handle this, I feel like you should have figured that out before the card came out. Like especially since, like Kawa said, the effect's been pretty much the same that we've seen in development for a while now. So I don't think you changed anything like surprises there or anything, but the card is now to me functionally changed. It's not the same card because I remember talking to you yesterday when this news came out, Ken. They basically fixed it by taking away choice, which is definitely going to feel terrible to players and definitely going to make the card worse for exactly what Shayed was talking about, where if you stick it into a location or something and you want it to stay there, and then it's just going to bounce back to your hand. There's really no way of stopping that. So definitely a different card now. I do give them kudos. I think they did do a good compensation for it of the tokens for the players that did buy it, and then everyone getting it free next month when it comes back that didn't get it. So
I really disagree with the free thing that they're doing because it's like, man, I don't know how to word this without being like awful because I'm a fucking gigantic whale in this game. So like I obviously like pay my butt off for these cards on a regular basis, but like it takes away some of the like special new shiny thing to me for them to be like, here's this new card, and then for like, I don't know about you guys, but like for me, those 2 days playing with Kitty Pryde was literally the most fun I've ever had at Snap.
Yeah, it was
She's
great.
an insanely fun card.
Agreed.
And then they take her away, and then they're just like, okay, here's the card back, but it's not the card anymore. And then also everybody else is getting it for free. And I'm just like, eh.
So it definitely leaves a bad taste in the mouth because of the change and stuff. And so I'm from a different point. I didn't get her before, but it's not because I didn't want her. I just didn't see her. Not at one point. I never saw her once. I would have bought her. I would have bought her, no problem. Even like when there was stuff about bugs and stuff, I was like, she still looks fun. I've been saving tokens as soon as I started want to buy her. And she got taken out of the game before I could. And
So
I think the
why.
only thing with the free Kitty Pryde is just like it's all like a PR thing. It's all like you have to give the other player something else too, and that's just the easiest way. And kind of they've set the precedent before with
Nexus events, wasn't it?
Yeah, with Jane. Yeah, so they've already set the precedence with something like that. I just don't think you couldn't do anything. And then it also because like I agree with you, like, you know, paying the tokens and getting it, and then like, oh, now everyone's just getting it or whatever. But I mean, you got something for it too. But yeah, but players like me, like I've never had a chance. I never saw her in my shop. So,
would you, now knowing what she's coming back as, and knowing that you were going to buy her if she had shown up in your shop before, would you buy her now at 6,000 tokens with what she's coming back as if you weren't getting her for free?
I would, because I'm still excited for the card. I'd still think the card's worse than it was before, but I still think I would still buy it. But that's just me also. I also
so basically, those who did buy Kitty Pryde got a completely different card. So we are still special. Okay. So all of you guys who get the free one is getting second-rate Kitty Pryde. So enjoy the free.
You're getting yard sale. Yard sale kitty.
You got Kitty Pryde at home.
Yes, we got the official Yeah, the official, 2-day superstar Kitty Pride, we got that. And then we also got reimbursed with extra tokens. So I feel sorry for all the free Kitty Pride getters.
Yeah.
All right. So
I just hope that they learn from this entire
yeah.
experience and understand that they maybe need to outsource some of their QA or something. I know they're a small studio, but you're working with a gigantic
we're here.
IP. You're
We're
working with
here,
the
yeah.
Marvel. You're working with the Marvel Universe IP owned by Disney. So like maybe outsource your QA if you can't handle it.
Well, see, and it's definitely what Ken and Kawa was, because I've had the thought too. Call me up, but that's the crazy thing too. If they just had something for content creators, I mean, they've already gone through the process of vetting you and NDA and all that stuff. Why not allow you in a test server so you can test things out? I mean, Kawa, I'm sure, would be just jamming it all day just to do all the free testing, just like
Kawa would never be infinite again.
I would, no, I would
Exactly.
not. I would be like, let me break this card, please.
Yes,
Yeah.
Exactly. And I would be the exact same way.
That
If
would be
they
so much
did something like
fun.
that,
Oh my God.
we would test it like so many different ways. So yeah, that's definitely an idea. So second dinner, we're all open, DMs open, jump
Yes.
on.
Come on.
Yeah. It's wild as well. I just want to say as well, because I remember back in like CubeRush days, you're like, wouldn't it be great if they gave us access to these new cards so we could do exclusive tournaments? I'm like, this is great ideas. Just hit them up, second dinner. He had the thoughts, yeah.
We're trying to bring the hype.
Yes,
exactly. So along with all of that, this was one of the not biggest, but a patch day where we were expecting a bunch of nerfs, right?
Mhm.
Some buffs, and we got both, along with some awesome things that like new SFX, which was phenomenal, which caught me off guard. But we'll talk about that shortly. Let's open this up. So today's April 18th.
Apple 18th, yeah.
Yes, April 18th. That's where we're going. And we have some token shop updates, which we don't want to talk about right now because we just spoke about that in the beginning. The game board looks great. I played one game right before this call, and it does look cool. I like it. I can't wait to see different ones, right? Let's get some planets or something else. How do you guys feel about the new game board?
I have a gigantic problem with the new game board.
Oh, actually, yeah. I'll talk about this.
So I don't know if it's happening to everybody. I saw it on Kawa's game board. It's happening on mine. There is a film like level like opacity gradient over the like asteroid, and the textures are messed up. So
like
sometimes
flickering
the
or
film
lighting or
gradient
something.
will like move a little bit so that part of the asteroid is one color and then the rest of it is like another more opaque color. It's so distracting and I can't not see it now that I've seen it.
It's weird though, 'cause
yeah.
I can't see it as clearly as Shade can see it. It's really strange. So I don't know if it's my vision. I could be messed up, but if I look at like a certain part, I think it's like the bottom right of it. It kind of does like flicker a little bit. So maybe...
And it just goes like all the way up into the middle sometimes. Like it just completely, it's so triggering. It just ruins the whole thing for me.
Not gonna look for it.
So this
will distract you, yeah.
So I got a question. I mostly play on mobile. Have you noticed it on mobile or just PC?
I haven't played on mobile today.
Okay.
But I will later, and I will let you know.
Okay. Because I've played on mobile and I haven't noticed it, but I also can't tell the difference when it comes to stuff like that. So like,
yeah.
It's just a slightly opaque like film gradient that goes over the asteroid, and then it just moves around.
You must just have
like it cracks.
Like you,
it's driving me insane.
You're like fucking focusing on that, yeah.
Well, I do hope they give us other locations, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Overall thoughts of the game board so far, I think it's cool, but I would expect a lot. I hope they're gonna do a lot more things with it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's more of like an asteroid now, and it's just like more space, which is animated space, which is cool.
Right.
But Yeah, I'd like maybe like a Nowhere game board or like an Asgard game board or something like that. Really,
Right.
really cool things. That'd be sick.
You could give
Yeah,
me
and
the same game board
Mm.
and change literally nothing and just give me interactables, like things that my little
Clickables,
ADHD
yes.
brain can click on,
Right.
and I'll be happy.
and I definitely think they could do both. And I've definitely said this on Twitter before, but I really would like, coming from like an old school TCG player that I am, like paper and stuff, back in cardboard days, back in my day, I really like the idea of play mats. So I think it'd be really cool if they did just like a background where they could just do, each player have their play mat. So it gives another way for you to show off to your opponent with different play mats. And then with it being Marvel and comic books, like they have so many options that they could do. They could have custom artwork they could do famous comic book covers. Like they could do a lot with it. I would like to see them go that route, but also if they are going to stick with this, like we're on an asteroid, or if they do take us to other locations, if you're going to stick with that theme, it definitely to me feels empty and would like clickables. I mean, we're all kind of spoiled from Hearthstone with stuff like that, but like if you're going to go that route, I think they need to fully commit and have something you can interact with. If you just want something really cool to look at, then I personally would prefer play mats where you could another way to show off to your opponent and then customize it, and just really cool options you could have with it.
I really
That's
want
what
like
I
a
think.
top-down view of the pit that Black Widow and Gamora get tossed into on Vormir. Just like a top-down view of that.
Wow.
Just
That's
give
funny.
me that.
That's good.
Don't make me
I
cry,
agree.
Shayed. Oh my god.
Yes.
Please
Different
don't cry.
animation.
Yes.
I mean, it looks like they're expanding it for maybe the full PC view.
Widescreen, yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're doing. But Luke, I'm with you. Playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, Duel Links, it's cool to have your own type of mats and card backs, and even the view is different, right? So I totally agree with you on that. I hope they do really do something like that.
Yeah, if they do widescreen, like Luke said, I just don't want it to be more empty animated space.
Oh, no.
They need to have stuff there, because if it's just let's move the avatars, let's move the stuff, then what's the point of going widescreen? Then really, you want to have some kind of meaningful, cool things to look at,
I mean, a
Yeah,
big issue with that is going to be the fact that the largest portion of people who play this game play it on mobile.
Yeah.
And if the mobile player base were to be like, oh, why does the PC client get this stuff and we don't? They have to like find a way to make it work on both platforms as opposed to just like
Just turn it. Turn your phone horizontal.
well, that doesn't currently work though, and also that would make the game, like the actual game board part of it, like so small. It would be like squished.
I know. I'm just trying to help them out. Just trying
If
to
you
help them
like
out.
those prototypes we saw, Ken, where they have like 9 cards.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
That was crazy.
Or how
That was awesome,
the new shop looks. I don't know if you guys have seen how the new shop looks. If there's 3 cards in it, it's like very squished.
Yeah.
I know. This is crazy. Well, we'll see. We'll see. But to be honest, the best series drops is this patch. So from 5 to 4, we have Ghost, Stature, which is a great card, and MODOK, phenomenal cards. Then from 4 to 3, my favorite card of all time, Shuri, Bass, Valkyrie, Super Scroll, and Black Panther. I think as of right now, this is the best series drop. How you guys feel?
Agree. Yeah, 100% agree. Great
Does
cards.
anyone else find it interesting that they're choosing to nerf Shuri on the same patch that they drop her series down to 3?
Coincidence.
Yeah, coincidence. They had to.
Yeah.
Illuminati.
By the way, I do want to note something on this. I thought it was funny. So Ghost dropping from 5 to 4. I pulled Ghost out of a box a couple days ago and I posted it on Twitter. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then like a couple days later, they announced what the drop was going to be. That's the first time I realized that Ghost was a 5-drop one, was a series 5 when I pulled it. I had no clue. I thought it was already a 4. So
oh my God.
Wow.
I had specifically been saving up. I saved up like 30 reserves to open up today because I did not buy Ghost when she came out, and I did not buy Ghost at any point in the other 82,000 times that she showed up in my shop since then. But I was excited about her for obvious Valkyrie reasons. So when I opened up my 30 reserves today, she was there and I was like, yeah.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Did you get any new variants?
I got one, I think. It was
Okay.
the one that wasn't available. I don't know if it's been available yet. It's one of the Dazzler variants. The one where she's like the Rockstar Dazzler. I think that's newly released. But I got it in a
I
box.
think I have that one.
Okay.
Is you holding the mic?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Never mind.
I think that's
Never
been
mind.
out for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, good.
Sorry.
Yeah, screw your excitement, Kawa.
It's been out for a while now, but it's okay. It's okay. All right.
I got a bunch of pixels. Actually, you know what? I got Noir Crossbones today.
That's a nice one.
Oh,
I like
from
that.
a reserve. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kawa,
like
Kawa was there. I opened Ghost, and then the next reserve after that was Noir Crossbones.
Yeah, I like that one.
And
That's
Kawa
awesome.
was like, I hate you.
So this top one here, players that
Huge
reach rank
change,
infinite
huge.
will only match against other infinite rank players. Does that start now?
It has.
It happened today.
I could because like this is what I'm saying is like I played 3 matches consecutively, and each match I faced like it was the same opponent twice, then the next opponent twice, then the next opponent twice. So I can already tell that that's kind of active. But then I checked on Twitter and within the Discord, and they did say that's active as of this patch at the moment.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
just
I'm
to
99.
clarify,
Okay.
just to clarify with that, because there's been stuff on Twitter, people asking, bots are still there. It's just when you play another player, if you're infinite, you're going to play another infinite player. You're not going to play someone at rank 93 or whatever.
Okay, good. Because I'm 99 point something. So tonight on stream, I better be only playing 99 point something and less.
I'm at 65. I'm at 65 right now, and I am playing against people constantly with the card back from last season Infinite, and it's just like, how are you here? Go away,
Exactly.
please.
Yep. Well, don't worry about it. Enjoy your climb now, because no more infinite players for this season. You should be fine. When you tap on a card for more details in the shop, the card is now artist cred. Okay, that's awesome. I like that. Series 3, Series 4, Series 5, and rare, super rare, or ultimate. That's pretty good. I like that. Give us some more details. And that's what I want to talk about. So when I started the game up and I was going through my list of cards, they now make the sound of the crackle and stuff.
They make a lot of
threw me off.
Yeah.
It threw me off. I was like, what?
Well, that was another thing that threw me off too. It's not something I noticed before, but now crackles and stuff, you can like see it like in your hand and on the board and stuff. Like maybe I wasn't paying that much attention, but I had
that was out
stand
before.
out.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, that was before. But now in your trunk,
collection,
we'll call it. Yeah. You see them now even more,
and you hear them. Trust me, you hear them.
Well, I don't play with sound, so I don't have to worry.
Oh, okay.
Because we could scroll through mine in a minute and you can hear it. It just throws me off.
Has anyone done this thing, the flip thing, to see the back of the card? I haven't seen this yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
It's really cool. God, I can't remember her name now. One of the devs was showing it off on Twitter.
Ali.
But it looks really cool. Yeah, Ali. Yeah, it's 3D and stuff. Yeah, it looks cool.
Really?
I read this and then I completely forgot to even check at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I don't know.
When you put a card down and it hasn't flipped yet, you can. Oh no! When it flips, then you can flip it back down and look at the back.
Yeah, I don't know how though. I don't know like how you click on it. Maybe you right click or something like that. I have no idea. But...
Guys, we're gonna have to look at this.
Do some testing. I know.
I'm sorry. We have to do this.
I'm ready.
We're doing
impressive.
it.
Well, if you go to your collection anyways and you look at the card back and you can move it around like thing.
So you hear that?
Oh, I can hear. Yeah.
and you see them like the crackle. Wait, look at this. That's pretty cool. All right, let's play. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, if you go to your if you go to your thing first, like just go to your collection level and or your not your collection level track. Jeez, I can't even speak. Just your normal collection and go to one of your decks, and then say you're gonna select the card back. You should be able to like move the card back. No. So if you like click the
so do it like you're changing the card. Yeah.
And if you click on one of those, any of them, and like now you can move them around like they're 3D. You know?
That is sick.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they say somehow we can inspect it in game. I don't know how at the moment.
Let's just test it out.
Maybe that's just what they mean, but I have no idea. Yeah.
Just 2 seconds, guys.
We're
Let's see.
going in.
If I go
It's the most
infinite, that's great.
accurate title I've ever seen in my entire life. Besides the one that I used to use, which was I don't drink enough water.
All right. Don't show me the issue with the colors, okay?
Wait, can I?
I can see.
I can see it.
I don't want to see it.
I'm trying not to look.
All right, so we can't.
Wait, what's that on the left?
It's the
bottom
bottom
left
left.
right there.
No,
Bottom
don't
left,
look
click
at
that.
it. Like,
Oh, okay, that's sick.
That's nice.
that
Okay.
is cool.
That is sick. We don't got no new. Okay. Oh, it makes that sound now. Look at that.
Oh, it makes new sound, does it? Oh, cool.
Oh, that does too.
Okay, that's pretty dope. Yeah, that's pretty dope.
All right. Great. All right, we're gonna stop. We'll give him a cube. Enjoy your cube.
Oh no, I can see it.
Stop, Shayed. Stop.
I'm not even gonna look. All right, we 99.5. Great. We're going infinite tonight, guys. All right.
You got it.
All right.
You should have just got it. You should have just got it now, right there.
Right.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this madness. How's this
I
a series
do-
4 or 5? What is this?
I do want that Gamora. I love
You
that.
can take this one and give me Peach Momoka.
Okay. Okay.
We should be
Trade, yeah. Do trade.
fine. All right. So let's go back
40,000
to-
tokens, Ken. Good lord.
I'm buying everything. It's gonna get
Yeah.
spent.
Oh
Don't worry.
my god. Are you
Between
still
this season and next season?
Look, Ken, if you like tokens, I have a bundle I will sell you with 10,000 tokens later.
Oh man.
Good. All right.
It's 10,000 tokens and it costs $10,000.
I believe
Yes.
that.
That is my
I believe
assumption.
that.
That is my best guess. Is about
We're
10
at
grand, yes.
$1 per token.
Wow. Okay. So at a roughly 10 hours of gameplay in a day, players will stop earning season pass XP from gameplay reminder of the day. Interesting.
Trying to
Why?
stop
We
those
talked about this as well. I
Agatha
don't know.
bots.
I don't know why. It's like, guys, I think you've played this game for 10 hours today. I think it's time to stop. I think
But also, no one was gaining. It's like 10 XP per game. No
Yeah.
one is gaining that much XP. And like the only people who are playing for 10 hours a day are content creators. So this is just like middle finger. Like, what? Why?
you're
What is, I
enjoying the
don't.
game. Well, you're not
Oh
anymore.
my god!
yeah.
Don't take away my 50 token or my 50 credits that I was gonna get from the battle pass after playing 15 hours today.
Was somebody farming XP?
Maybe.
That's why they did this?
I'm assuming this is like the Agatha bot thing. So like they just can't have them going 24 hours now. They only
Okay.
get 10 hours a day to farm.
Oh,
That's-
this is
yeah.
horrible. Did we reach? We didn't reach the max yet. Now they extended
Someone,
it. Oh.
someone
Some
did.
people did. Some people did.
Aaron
Jeez.
reached it a couple
Months
months ago, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kraken was really close. Kraken was like 8 away. He's like, it's getting real close, guys. I hope they add it. And then they added more. So he can
That's
keep
horrible.
going.
That's horrible. So we got new audio sounds, which is pretty good. Oh, they finally got sounds for camp. Okay.
It sounds good.
Can't wait to
sounds
hear
It
good.
does
I'm
sound
listening
really
to it.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Really?
haven't heard the
All right.
Score Girl one, but we did hear the Camp Lehigh one this morning, and it was good.
Mhm.
All right. So I can't wait for that to hear it.
It's like a
Now
horn,
we got some,
like a trumpet. Like
as it should have been, right? So I like how they talk about balance updates, and he just first cards Shuri Taskmaster. Poor Shuri, my baby girl. Okay, card updates.
no one feels bad about this except for you, Ken.
know,
Literally, no
I know.
one.
Now, to be fair, last week on the show, I did say this is the only way they can nerf her, by having her turn into rescue, and they
Did
did
you
that
suggest this? Really? That's wild.
100%.
Yep.
100%.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I just felt if they took, because I said the problem is they can't say the next card you play because Infinite won't get any love, right? So you should be able to play still play Shuri, skip a turn, and then play Infinite. If they made it where you had to play the next turn, that would be fair to Infinite. And then I said, if they said only +5 or +10, there's not Shuri anymore. So I said, just like Shuri's lab, you have to play on her. So they did that. But what sucks is I wish you could play in another lane and then come back to that lane, and that card gets the buff. I would have felt better that way, but it looks like it has to be the exact next card has to play there, which I think is fair because now you could play Negasonic, you could get your Shang-Chi's ready, you could do as much as you need to stop that card from getting buff and being Red Skull, Taskmaster, etc., etc.
Yeah, the best thing about it is definitely the fact that now, like, you can't put it behind a Cosmo. You can't Shuri and
Well,
do stuff
you
behind the
can.
Cosmo.
You can, and the reason why I say that is because I do believe that the like standard like meta list for Shuri runs enough power in priority with like 0 Lizard, 0 Titania to have prio in the entire board to go into 6 and play Cosmo on your Red Skull or play Cosmo on whatever you don't want to get
Oh yeah,
streamed.
no, like you can do it at the end, but how like before when it's 3 into 4 into 5, you can't you can't do your stuff. But it's definitely interesting. Is like like now there's more options for like Negasonic, which I've been using and it's been great. It's really effective. It's also now with Negasonic, it's like, oh, they're gonna play on this lane or that lane. Well, they have to play on the Shuri lane. That just makes sense. But what myself and Shade were saying was, like I actually kind of like this change because it's like you were saying, Ken, it doesn't kill Shuri. If anything, it makes cards like Vision and Captain Marvel really good. You know what I mean? Vision as well. You can just move them wherever you want.
Correct. I totally agree, which is awesome.
Now,
so I'm happy for that.
I have a question about this. I'm sure one of y'all can answer this for me. Can I arrow and mess this up? Does that work? I haven't seen anyone play against me with Shuri yet.
I don't know. That's a good question.
If you arrow is in like if you've priority and you arrow it or what?
Yes. Like if they played Shuri and then so it's my go, I have priority, I'll play arrow.
Yeah.
They're trying to play a card into Shuri.
It depends.
Does it still get the buff? Or
no. It depends though, because if it's coded like rescue, then it would
get the buff. Yes. That's why I'm asking if it's different for Shuri.
But rescue, she gets the buff, so that's different.
Yes.
But in reality, it's just like null, right? If you play a card and then you play Galactus without the card flipping, it doesn't get the buff. Same thing with Shuri before. If you played Shuri and then you played a card and somebody Galactus, that card doesn't get the buff. It got destroyed. So I think if you play and the card doesn't flip and you arrow, it won't get the buff from Shuri.
I have to test it and see.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I believe.
Yeah, it's weird because like no matter what, if you arrow, you don't stop your opponent from actually playing that card on that location, but maybe when it flips, or after it's dragged, then I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. You have to test
if it flips,
all I know,
I think if it flips and you pull it, then yes, it's too late. It's already got the buff.
All I know for sure is that I was already leading the charge of the Negasonic Teenage Warhead fan club.
Yes.
I am now fully accepting other members.
Okay.
Join the Negasonic Teenage Warhead fan club.
I prefer Shadow King, and he's been doing great for me. We beat a bunch of Shuris with Shadow King, so I'm gonna stay with the Shadow King route. But Negasonic on this is fantastic because they got to play there, right?
Yes,
they got to play there. So just play your Negasonic and just wait.
Exactly.
Well, in reality, you could play Armor on 2 and then put Shuri in that lane.
You could, yeah, so but now, I mean, it's still, then you got Valkyrie and then you got Shadow King, like you said, so there's still other options as well. So,
yeah, or you could put Cosmo. You get priority. You put Cosmo right in that lane.
Exactly.
Say good luck. Now we have Leech, which we all can agree, we want the Leech to be nerfed. Do you guys feel this is a nerf?
I mean, in the sense of, is this a nerf? Is it less powerful than it was before? Yes. Is it going to fix a lot of things that was wrong with Leech? Probably not. But I don't know if you saw it, Ken. I've tried to have a peace treaty with the Marvel Snap community. I was like, let's take a week before we call cards good or bad or whatever. No one's agreeing with me. Everyone's saying it. But I think we need time for Leech for sure to know how good it's going to be or not. But I am personally excited that they're not going to leech me on turn 3 anymore. So that's really cool. Yeah, I think it's going to take time, but I do think the card's slightly worse. I think it's better at the job of what they've always said they wanted it to do, of shutting down like the big turn 6 combos. So we'll see.
So here's my thing, right? I would have preferred to be leeched on 3 than to be leeched guaranteed on 6 because I cannot top deck an unleashed card on
You
6.
can. You can.
can.
You
You will
can.
top that. You will top.
Yeah.
Whatever top that.
It draws a
won't-
card after the leech.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I tested that.
It's been confirmed
before
on
this.
Twitter. Yes.
I've
Yeah.
tried.
I
it
would
again.
still prefer to draw 3 cards that are unleashed.
Shade, I'm with you. I said the same thing. I feel this is more of a buff for leech than a nerf because I feel the same way. I would have preferred to be leeched and then figure it out for the next
Earlier,
couple,
and then,
couple turns.
yeah. Mm.
But now you're basically saying hit monkey turn 6, don't do it. Galactus turn 6, don't even bother. Right?
Yeah, but I could
You
do all those things already with Sandman.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That's true.
With y'all's concern, maybe it should have been an ongoing, so you could shut it down before the turn 6 came. I don't know.
Maybe.
Or rogue it.
Oh my God, no!
Yes.
Geez.
Make
Right.
leech
Right.
ongoing. Make leech ongoing.
Well, at least they did something. At least they did something.
Yeah.
So we're happy
Is
about
that really where we're at though? Like
I mean-
that statement right there is so fucking terrifying to me. Holy
But we have
shit,
to see.
Ken.
Like,
But we
Oh
did
my
something.
god.
We had to
We're
do
really
something.
at
We
the
did it.
point, like this
We
game
are.
launched globally in October, guys, and we're at the point where Ken is saying at least they did something. I am crying.
Oh God.
Oh,
my
man.
god.
I mean, listen, everybody was complaining for weeks and months. And they
To
did
be-
something. So at least
yeah.
they did something.
Oh
One
my
thing,
god.
one thing I will say is I actually didn't expect Leech to be touched this patch. I really didn't. I thought they were gonna just leave him. So to see that, like Ken said, they did something, I will take it.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
there you
I'm
go.
literally
look,
crying.
my stance is they did something. Now let's take some time and see if they did the right thing or not.
Okay, Luke, I'm with you. All right.
Let's be
Lockjaw.
grateful that they did something.
Yes. Lockjaw, which to me, this
It's
is
a
a
buff.
nerf. And that's
It's a buff in my opinion. It's a buff in my
Really?
opinion. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because to me, if I play 3 cards on Lockjaw, right? Now only 1 flips per turn, or just a 1, and then the other cards don't flip at all.
Can I take a guess as to why Kawa is about to say that this is a buff for Lockjaw?
Please.
Because he
Okay.
constantly is playing cards on turn 6 into his Lockjaw lane and forgetting that it's going to go back into the deck.
Well, that
Nailed
makes
it.
sense.
You
Okay.
nailed it.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Does this mean that we can unnerf Quinjet now?
I don't think that they'll ever
I-
nerf Quinjet.
Yeah,
I think-
I don't think they will either. Or they.
But I
shouldn't.
also don't think either of these cards are the fucking problem. Thanos' stones cost 1, and the equivalent to all of their stones that aren't stones, aka Psylocke, Cloak, those are 2-cost cards.
You're right.
Why are Thanos'
is,
stones 1?
Yeah,
Just
you're right.
stop it.
The thing about Thanos stones being 1 though is because of the way Thanos is. If all the stones were 2, you would never trigger Thanos,
Thanos
if that
bomb.
makes sense.
No, but you could
Yeah.
have left Quinjet alone. If
Well,
the
I don't
stones
see-
were 2.
I completely disagree because I think Quinjet was a problem from a design standpoint. And to me, the Lockjaw is the same way. This is just a design thing that they're fixing now before it could become more of a problem. We saw Quinjet become a problem because of the stones, but if you learned the lessons from other card games, if you would have made reductions
Yeah.
never go less than 1, that should have been the way it was before. With Quinjet and Lockjaw, I think these are just fixing design mistakes that they made with how they design cards. So that's
Should
what I
Elysium
think the
be
Lockjaw
changed as
and
well?
which one?
Should Elysium be changed as well?
Yeah, it's to have uniformly. Maybe they just want the location to be more powerful.
So
But yes,
uniform
if you want everything
cards
to
should
make
never be less than
sense,
1.
But what about Beast? Beast brings the 1s to 0s.
that's also different of not being like a ongoing thing. It's
Okay.
like a one-time thing you have to hit on something.
Okay, that's fair.
I agree with that, yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. Okay.
That's fair. Yeah. I think in general what you're saying though, like I'm picking up what you're putting down is in like any mana or energy cheat when it goes to 0 is typically quite
Problem.
I've
powerful
played
problem. Yeah, you played loads
hundreds of card games for
Mm.
20 years.
Yeah.
Free cards are usually overpowered.
Mhm.
I will say that I do not think that the the current like standard meta deck version of Thanos is like the Thanos death list, where you're killing off all of your stones anyways for cheaper death. I don't think that this Lockjaw change really changes anything about that list whatsoever, because you're not typically wanting to play all of your stones so that they go back into your deck. You're wanting to play them. You want to cycle with Lockjaw, obviously, but you also want to have enough on the board to kill off with the Killmonger to make your death cost 0. So maybe this change prior to that list would have made a huge difference, but I'm not entirely sure it makes a huge difference with what's currently being played as the meta list.
Gotcha.
That's fair. All right. Next on the list, Chavez gets a buff, nerf, buff, either one.
A blurf. It's a blurf.
Yes. Blurf. It starts at the bottom of your deck versus the top. Now, we had Iron Lad and Darkwing Duck. No. Howard the Duck. Sorry. Yes. Darkwing Duck was a great show, by the way. Okay. Howard the Duck. I can see the top, the card at the top. So this kind of moves Chavez out of there, which is great, because now if Chavez always started at the top, those cards would always see Chavez. Yeah. So that's pretty good. So it's a good thing they did here with this change.
The Mary Chavez and then the Jubilee are both fixing design problems again, with them having, Howard the Duck and Iron Lad coming out soon. Both these changes are definitely like, the design of these, we need to change this a little bit to make it better. I do like, from what people said though, with the Chavez, is basically you can put it in your deck now and it does the job that you wanted it to do even better now, of like basically making it where you're running an 11 card deck. You're never going to draw it. And they unintentionally nerfed Cable. So yay, nerf to Cable, because you're always going to draw Chavez now.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's true.
Yes. I hate that card. Cable is my most hated card. You could ask Kawa every single time someone plays Cable against me. I want to leave. I don't like it.
Yeah.
The worst part is when they cable you and then they snap and you're like, oh God, what did they take from me?
Yes.
Well, just wait. They've already said that they will look at if Cable needs a change after this. I think they're going to change Cable to take a random card out of your deck, which is going to make it a lot better.
That's scarier.
It will feel weird, because I mentioned this to Kawa this morning. I don't really like the fact that Jubilee will never pull Chavez ever again unless you play her like on 5. If you play her on 5 and you have no other cards in your deck, I guess is like the exception to that, because it's not like it's never been a bad thing that Jubilee pulls Chavez. That's a 4/11 or
4/10.
4/10.
Used to be 4/11 back in the beta. Good lord.
So I feel like that's not necessarily a good thing. I don't know.
I understand what you're saying. Is like typically you put like bigger cards in your deck so they can get pulled by Chavez, but now that 9 power card that you put in your deck is never gonna be pulled by Chavez. So yeah.
By Jubilee,
Jesus, yeah. I'm confused. that's what I meant, yeah. But this is what I said. Like it's I kind of find it cool that we've come full circle now. We had the Jubilee Chavez Okoye crazy deck back in the beta, which is good times. We will never see those days again.
No.
But the fact that it's come full circle and actually makes sense, like they were saying, because they're going to be designing more cards that have interactions with the top cards in your deck.
Top of the deck. That's correct.
I do think it's cool that we're going to be able to, because Howard the Duck costs 2, so if you put him down and then you play Jubilee on
2 or 1.
4, is he 1?
He's 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
You play Howard on 1 and Zabu on 2, and then Jubilee on 3. You can see what card Jubilee is going to pull. That's going to be cool.
Oh my God.
That is fair. All right, you guys heard it here first. Shayed is building the deck already. She's ready cooking
already. Yeah,
ready cooking. They'll rock out. All right, then we have the leaders back, ladies and gentlemen. Copy the enemy's card with the highest power played this turn, but on your side. How do you guys feel about that?
I hate that he's a negative card.
I'm
okay with it.
That's true, but I've played with this card already, and it's much better. And I don't want to say it's the return of the leader meta, but I've been playing a few different things. Wave into leader into Odin, Sandman stuff with leader. I've also done Leech leader again, and it's not as powerful as it was.
Just kick him out of the call. Oh my god. Leech leader. Oh my, was this 2022?
Wow. Leader.
But he's
Yeah, no
better.
more of that.
He's better for sure.
Yeah, I think the Electro, ramp him up, and then
Mhm.
Odin him, that's pretty good, right? So that's awesome for leader. I'm happy that they brought him back somewhat because they really just nerfed the crap out of him before. So I'm happy they're able to do this. And I'm happy to do this with multiple cards, right? If the card's nerf is too harsh, I hope they bring it back. Like I said, I hope Quinjet would be fixed, but based on what Luda's saying makes sense. So the fact they did this with leader is pretty good. Now you're saying leader's a negative card? I thought he was a 6-2.
Yeah, so he's
Yeah,
just
Mr.
throw him in
Negative.
Mr. Negative.
It's better than Mr. Negative decks now.
Oh, yes.
Because you did it for a 2/6.
you meant.
Because
Like
I
6
am
negative.
literally, I'm emotionally damaged and traumatized by negative Mr. Negative players who snap me on turn 1 because they have Psylocke and Negative in their hand.
Yeah.
Just like
Fucking
throw
terrible.
up that emotional damage, like screaming, screaming guy. That's me.
Emotional damage.
Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy. You're right. So they have Psylocke, Mr. Negative,
or
and
Zabu.
Lady Thor in their hand.
That's
Yep.
And everything else is zeros. Everything else is
Like we
zeros.
don't. The first location hasn't even fully flipped up yet, and they're just like, "Oh, I gotta click it."
Yep. Then they get
I've
peak.
been
Also,
playing
Galactus
with-
null players are just crying right now.
Indeed.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, has anyone
Uh,
talked to Willow snapping? Because he's like on the floor in a corner somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing with leader. I'm still waiting to live the dream because it does have the S in parentheses. So if your opponent does play multiple cards with the same power, you should get multiple cards.
Mhm.
So I'm
That's
waiting
awesome.
for that. I'm waiting for someone to like
Double She-Hulk.
double She-Hulk or what was I just thinking? It was a weird one that probably will never happen. Stature and Maximus or something like 2 7 power cards.
Against
And you get 'em
Cerebro.
both.
You know they're going to be playing cards that
Stature
are probably...
Maximus is entirely possible because
It
those
is
are
one and a
definitely
one and
both
three.
cards that I would run in a stature list.
Yeah.
I got Stature today. I've been thinking about it for a while, and it was there when I bought Jeff, so I bought Stature.
Nice.
I love stature. I
Nice,
almost
we
have
got
an
some-
inkified stature deck.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yes.
Using the base card, right?
Yeah. No variants yet.
Okay.
Okay, you see the
So-
second point here about the so-called infinite loop that I don't think anybody knew about.
No.
Yeah,
Interesting. More
but
spawns.
it does make sense because it's like
Yeah.
how Kang works. Is it it always does the same RNG. So it's like, well, if Morph spawns, you get Kang. That's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again.
Wow.
But at the same time, I don't know how they how do they when they say they fixed it? How do they fix these things? Like how did they fix the infinite loop thing? I'm curious to know.
They fast forward it. Fast forward.
Okay.
I would assume. I'm
also
just saying that.
curious, like
Forever.
how many people
Infinitely.
ran into this, right? Because
Yeah.
there's how many cards is there in Rebel Snap now? There's like 210
Over
or
200.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like someone had to have had a 1 in 210 chance of getting Morph from a 1 in how many locations? Like 70
Oh, yeah,
locations.
Yeah.
Crazy odds.
And
Yeah,
then
that's
also playing against an opponent who had Kang
Had
in their
Kang.
hand
Yeah.
versus how
And
many
that-
cards did they have in their hand on turn 3? Like
That
the
Morph
amount
actually hits
of
it, yeah.
absolute chaos that had to
Had
happen
to happen.
for this poor person to get stuck in an infinite loop of Kang.
That is crazy. Okay, we got some cool fixes. I'm looking for the fix with Sentry. I don't see it here.
For crashes? No?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything.
No, there's no
Sorry.
fix for Sentry.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a problem. Okay.
The only other notable one which I kind of appreciated a little bit was just visual thing. It's like when you snap with Kang or whatever and the cubes
Oh
over.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it looks so crazy.
Yeah,
I thought it was purpose. It was purposely.
Oh really?
They also didn't fix the thing where you put Kang down and then there's no button to reset the turn. You have to wait out the full duration. And there's no visual effects fix for overlapping cards with Lockjaw.
Yes.
Oh, they didn't fix that either. Well, maybe that's for the next one, which makes sense.
At least they did
interesting.
something.
Yes. At least they did something.
That is now
That's
the
the new
go-to
title.
line.
That's
At
my
least they
motto.
That's a new title. At least we did
Change
something.
the name of the podcast. At least they did something.
That is true. All right. Known issue list. Okay, so they do know we still got some issues here. So retreating while Kyle's rewinding. Yeah, Kang rewinding. Yeah, so there you go.
Oh my
Quake
god, you see
shuffling
that?
locations.
Yeah, Quake shuffling location can prevent Shuri's buff. Quake to nerf Shuri to combat
Oh,
Shuri.
I'm definitely playing that list now.
Wow.
It's interesting.
Wait, that's a
poor
bug. That
Shuri.
shouldn't be a bug though.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a bug. I was thinking
not?
that was just something. I was like, if Sherry
not?
gets big, I'm going to play Quake and mess
No,
them all
yeah,
up.
you got a magic trick that like when you go to like a fair or something, and there's the guy that's like, guess which is in my hand, and then he like does this whole like Shazam thing with his hands, and you have to just like guess where the like red cube is in his hand.
Right.
It should be like that when Quake shuffles. The Shuri player should be like, oh shit, where did I play Shuri?
Hey, but you still see Shuri. Shuri's still there. So I'm confused.
But
why would it
but
be? Why would it prevent
this is just like the other things, like with Rescue. If you play Rescue, and let's say the location switched because of the location that does it, or
Antillian,
someone
yeah.
quakes, it triggers on the location,
Shade had that
not
today in the
where
game.
Rescue is.
Oh, I remember Wong had that problem too.
Yep.
I know what you're talking about. Okay.
It was the
Wow.
location that like swap. What is it?
Bifrost.
Starlight.
So she
Oh, yeah, it was
she
Bifrost.
played it. She played Shuri on Bifrost, and Shuri moved to the middle location. Then she played the card on the middle location, and she was like, Why does it not have the buff? But you have to play it on Bifrost.
You know why I did that?
Shuri was
You know
saying.
why I did that? Because I was too distracted by the stupid particles on the asteroid.
Oh boy.
Oh man.
I'm going to delay merge VFX with Clentar. Okay. The serious token does not update properly. Okay. In the views variant. All right. So there's still a bunch of issues which they'll be working on, hopefully, and get that resolved.
Oh,
But-
really?
Oh, yeah. At least they did something. Look.
At least
look.
they did.
Wait. Go to the very bottom.
at the
I
bottom,
saw
your
the word
sentry thing.
century.
Yeah, it's
I
what
saw
you
Sentry.
said. Playing Sentry can cause an snap error.
Oh,
yeah.
it's still there.
Oh,
So they ain't fixed
So
it
they
yet.
know it.
Oh,
Yep.
it's on the PC.
They know
Yeah,
it.
I know it. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And Time Stone visual bug. You guys have that one as well, where you play Time
Yes.
Stone. It's like, do I not have my energy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I can't
That's right.
count that it's turn 5 and I have 6 energy.
Oh, speaking of that, have y'all seen the weird clip going around with Infinite Jeff Mana?
No.
No.
There's a clip on Twitter. I can try to find it and share it to show y'all. But someone is playing Jeff into a Professor X location and then returning it to their hand, and it's giving them mana. They keep doing it and show that they get up to like 34 mana just by
How-
playing Jeff.
How are they pulling
And
Jeff back?
Right.
They're not
No,
ending
just-
turn.
They're not ending their turn. It's still their turn.
Oh, they're just like,
Oh,
Dude,
Yeah,
it
they're
is-
just playing it, pulling it back, pulling it back.
Kawa.
But they mess it up. At some point, they hit the undo all, and it makes them have 4 mana, and then they can't play anything. And then so they retreat.
oh my.
Oh, we tested it out tonight. We
This
tested
is
it out
a
tonight.
indie game studio, guys. This
Oh
is an indie game
my
studio.
Hey, Shade. At least they did something.
At least
That's
they
it.
did something.
Okay. They gave us a new
Can
card.
that be the title of this? Can we just title
Yes.
this podcast? This
This
episode?
It's definitely that.
At least
That's the
they
name of
did
the episode.
something.
At
Yes.
least they did something.
All right, so all in all, they did something. They did give us some patches, some bug fixes, some nerfs, some buffs. Overall, how do you guys feel about that?
At least they did something.
Thank you. That's all I need to hear. All right, perfect. Now, with patches also comes
Leaks
data
and
mines.
data mines.
Yep, that's right. Leak and data mines, and also variants. But let's look
I
at.
know we were supposed to
some-
look at all this stuff like before, but I purposefully didn't look at this part of it because I
Get
wanted
excited.
to see it for
Oh.
the first time here.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate that. So, we got some updates coming up. Let's talk about what's happening in June, ladies and gentlemen. We did assume that Ghost Spider was coming because of the movie Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. And look at this season. Every card here looks beautiful. This Miles Morales with the speaker
Yeah,
and
I
all in the
love that,
background.
Miles.
Wow. The card backs.
And the card backs. Yeah.
I thought
Which one's
next
gonna be the
month's
gold
card
one?
back.
Which one's the gold one?
Ooh, this
2099, I think.
yeah. Yeah.
I think it's going to be
No.
Ghost Spider because
Ghost
this is
Spider
the
because
past
she's
page.
yeah.
I mean,
Next
we want
time.
to talk about cards that have insane variant potential, even just already like released or leaked variants. Ghost Spider is fucking up there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
look
has
at that.
like 30 variants on the Marvel Snap or the Snap fan page.
Really? We're gonna
And
check
one
it
of
out
the
shortly.
art germ one is just the
There's
most
more in this one,
chef's
too.
kiss thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
We'll look at
Luke,
that shortly.
Luke, do you know did Ghost Spider get a buff from the last time I saw? From last time I saw her, was she
Yes.
a
Last
2?
time was a 2-2. 2-3 now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Going in my Cerebro 3 list also.
Okay. The Spider-Man variant is cool. It looks like Max, I guess. Max, correct?
Sick.
No, it's not Max. He already has one out.
And
Interesting.
it's Ryan,
But, yeah,
isn't it? Ryan Kincaid.
I have
Could
no
be.
idea. It's
Or
from it's
Ryan
like
Kennard.
Spider-Verse version of it. Yeah.
and of course, in June we have the first Conquest name, Annihilation Conquest. So we can't wait for that. And then we have a bunch of new
Which is
variants.
very interesting, and I wish there was more info on that because there's like a card that has a very similar name.
Very
to that.
similar name. Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to tie that in.
Release
somehow.
that card with it, maybe.
Isn't it
Yeah.
You
literally
can only
called
get that card
Annihilation?
from there.
It's called
Or is it Annihilator?
Annihilus or something like that. Yeah.
Oh, Annihilus, yeah.
Yeah,
So
we'll
Gladiator
see it going farther down.
Goes coming. Look at these Gladiator.
Look,
Wow.
by the way, I've been dying to talk about this one. I absolutely love the Dan Hip monkey. If you go down right under Spider Ham where you're at, I love that Dan Hip.
oh my
He has the gun and the knife ready to go.
That looks
very
cool.
John Wick looking. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks sick.
John
Okay.
Wick Hit Monkey.
Yeah, that looks so cool.
Oh my god.
Gore is coming.
Yeah, Thor is sick. Yeah.
Just show all 6 cost cards wherever they are.
I am terrified that they have still not updated.
0.
Yeah, that is terrifying.
That's
Make him a
don't
0
worry.
power. I know, make him a 0 power. That's all I care about. We'll miss the negative him, right? And we'll snap on turn 2.
So can we talk about Transformers Lizard
Yeah, it's pretty
right
sick.
beside
Yeah.
Hitmonkey there?
Oh, that is sick. Amazing.
It's
Rihanna
literally-
Spider Ham as well. Did you see that shade? Rihanna Spider Ham
Oh yeah,
eating a hot dog. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
that is
Oh, we got
cannibalism.
some, wow, kind of Hawkeye. Interesting.
Is that not
What?
cannibalism? Is a pig eating a hot dog?
Hot dog is a bunch of
Wait,
stuff put together, I guess.
Isn't it
Is-
pork though?
It's
It's in there.
Hot dogs are pork.
Maybe,
I'm
maybe
so
even a chili dog.
confused.
I know it's a hot dog. You're right. Adam Warlock looks great. Oh, look at the squirrel girl.
Is that
Nice.
Black Cat Spider Man?
Where's that?
Where?
Yeah, it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
By
go
Scorpion,
down.
Master Mold,
Yep,
Cerebro.
down. Yep.
Down one more. Over 2.
Go over. Yep. Yeah.
Ooh. That is-
It was like playing Twister. Like something.
Yes.
Down 2, over 1.
Scorpion. So they're coming out with these kind of Transformers cards, huh? Okay.
The mech variants, yeah.
Yeah, but
look
where's
at
Peach
Cerebro.
Momoko Moon Knight though?
Well, that's a good question. I like the Ironheart. Juggernaut, Venomized.
By the way, I like the Venomized ones, but that Juggernaut one looks so goofy. I don't know why. I think it's the shape of the head.
There's just no reason to ever use any Juggernaut variant that isn't Kool-Aid Man.
Agreed.
Yes.
The Kool-Aid one is my favorite one.
By
Miss
the way,
Marvel.
the
Wow.
Sharon, the Kim Sharon that you're about
Yeah.
to see.
The Sarah pretty sick.
Sick.
Yeah.
That is sick. So Miss Marvel, ongoing. If you wow, 5. So she's a better Mr. Fantastic. Okay.
And she only costs 1 more. I'm so confused.
That's crazy. That is crazy. 5 in both locations?
Mm,
Okay. Jessica Jones. Look at that.
The sick variant. I know.
That's variant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we got these variants right here. Oh man, Spider-Man 2099.
By-
I don't know
by
about
the
you
way,
guys, but
I
I'm
love the
very
pig art.
excited to get another Namor variant in the game because I play so much Namor.
I have
Yeah.
to skip past that. That one was cool. Atuma. Look at that. Not
Yeah.
bad.
I like that Atuma a lot.
Is he
I think
on
it's on
Mjolnir?
higher tier.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
But this Spider-Man 2099. Wow.
That's the one. That is the
I
one.
like that. Yeah.
Wait, I like the baby one a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's
Dan Hip.
adorable. I don't
Right.
normally like the baby variants, but I think that one, I just want to squish them.
Squish this Nimrod's coming out. This
guys
Nimrod
see-
looks great.
You guys see Salt Bay Sandman?
Oh,
Yeah. Yes.
Wait, that's amazing.
And
awesome.
that's going to be in a bundle too.
Oh, there's a nihilist.
there he goes.
Yep.
There
There's
he
that,
is,
yeah.
yeah.
By the way, I love the steampunk. Harry
blimp.
Keller is just a blimp.
Yeah, that is cool. Look at APOC. Okay.
Sick.
Yeah, but are
Alright,
we
so these
ever
are
going to
all-
use anything for APOC other than the whale skin? That we just show off
Oh
our
yeah,
whale
the
pride.
one that we spent so much on. Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah,
$100
of course.
APOC variant from like the
Yeah.
first month of global
Yeah,
release.
yeah.
Mm.
I like the X one I have. The X. Hold on. Maybe we'll click on it. Show us. Yeah, I like this one better.
That's dope.
The
Yeah.
House of X. Yeah, that's what I'm using now. But yes, we did spend a lot on this bundle.
These
And then now,
new variants. Yeah.
so hopefully tonight, I open up my caches and we get these variants because these should be out now.
Definitely need that Mantis variant for my my Monkey Mill deck.
Monkey Bill.
Monkey
Snow
Mill.
Guard. Look at
Yeah, but are you really wanting that one, or do you want the anime one? The anime one is too good.
You bought the anime one already, didn't you, Ken?
Yeah,
it was
I
on my,
did.
my
the
shop.
anime Snow Guard.
Yeah.
It's so cute.
Yeah. I have it already. Yeah, I do like that one better.
But then the thing about card like Snow Guard and getting a variant for it, right? It's like when do you
Doesn't matter.
when do you ever see it? You know?
Listen, have you seen this man's title?
Yes,
Get
of
them
course.
all.
It does not. It
Yeah,
does
I
not
have them all.
matter.
Yeah,
No, it
Ken
doesn't.
doesn't care if you can
I don't.
see the variant. Just know that he has it.
I
He's
have
gonna
it.
buy that dog Watu variant and never play Watu.
100%. 100. I have variants that I never frame break. So trust me, it's not a problem. It is what it is. I can't wait to get this, Jeff. We'll get it tonight for sure. So that's gonna be awesome. Now we have new cards coming out in June. Spider Pig, transform the highest cost card in your opponent's hand into a pig. Okay.
It's a one-shot leech for
Yeah.
one.
That
It is.
might be the most Hearthstone card that I've ever seen in this game.
Yeah.
Okay. That should be fun.
Yeah,
Wow,
gonna
this
have a lot of
card
fun
right
bouncing that and just keep filling their hands up with
Oh my
picks.
god. Yeah.
Luke,
But
don't
the
talk
big-
like
the big-
that, bro. Stop.
Oh my
Stop.
god. Oh my god. I didn't even think about that when I
Who's
read
that?
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 1/1. You're just gonna
Oh,
bounce
that's
it
going
all
in
day.
Monkey
And
Mill.
you're
It's
just
going into Monkey Mill.
Yeah. Stop. That's not nice.
it's leech, but you have to work for it.
You're right. The first time this moves to an location, destroy enemy card
That's
here.
a uber
So-
strong
That's-
move. Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone else just think this card's insane?
Yeah. I
Like,
think it's
Well,
Like,
you still
just
have to move it, right?
crazy. Sure,
Well,
but that's getting
it's
easier.
effective.
Luke's face there. Yeah, okay.
No, I'm just saying it's getting easier, and like the whole season for June is move stuff.
Let's
go.
go.
Yeah, so I'm happy for
So-
move.
How
Yeah.
dare you suggest that I have to move a card?
I'm happy for move. So you got
No, I'm just saying it's going to be very easy to move this. card,
Yes, you got
especially with Ghost
Spider-Gwen,
Spider and stuff.
you got
yeah.
Iron Fist, and then you got Hamdol on the last turn. So there you go. From
Easy.
each
Destroy
location.
3 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Boom.
Echo. Okay, so we looked at this earlier. We got a bunch of bundles coming out. If you
Got new
guys-
locations. You want to
New
touch on those real
locations,
fast, right
Oh,
there?
look at that. Okay. So Aunt May's. That's just from the movie. That's pretty cool. I like that. So the first card you play here gets +3 power and moves.
Yeah, and so you just
Interesting.
blow something up. You can get more power.
Loot is so. I've never seen Loot so excited
He's
for
so
anything
excited. He's so excited.
ever.
Look,
And then the Great
it
Red.
stands out to me when I read a card. I'm like, is that card too good?
I'm
Like that
having
card just reads too
flashbacks.
good to me.
I'm having flashbacks of when Willow found out about Galactus, and he's like, "But have you read the card? It destroys all
Right.
locations." Loot's
Yes.
here, like, "But did you read it? It gives +3 power and it
And
moves."
Yeah.
Wow.
Which just says destroy a card. I mean,
Yeah.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And then the Great Web. So after each turn, move 1 card to the web for a random player. So
Is
it's
that kind of like
like
ego? No? No?
Android M, I think, because Android M pulls your 3/4s. So I guess after each
it
turn, you're just
randomly
gonna
pulls
pull.
one
Just gonna
thing.
grab
Yeah.
anything that's on the board. Yeah.
Yeah,
Go whip it. Yeah.
interesting. Okay, that's cool. New locations. Both of them aren't really too disruptive, like Lamentus. So not bad. And of course, we have a bunch of boosters
Yeah.
and
We
bundles.
can fly through these. Most of the ones that have the pictures are the only relevant ones. So this collector
Can't wait.
one,
Now
Here we
here's the
go.
$10,000 bundle.
I'm
I
buying
can't
it.
wait to open
I'm buying it.
65 boosters for Quicksilver. for 300 gold.
Man, I saw someone on Twitter's like, "Oh, I'm definitely gonna buy this. It's gonna be $100. Definitely getting it. It's definitely the best deal." I'm like, "You think this is gonna cost $100?
For 10,000 collector tokens?
This is gonna
it
be
better
more
not
than
cost more.
$100.
Do you think it's gonna be more, Lou?
I think
It should not be.
Yeah.
It should not be.
I think it
What?
is 100%.
Well, okay, so
No.
here's the thing. It's probably not going to be more because the most amount of gold that you can buy in a single
100?
transaction is $100 worth of gold.
And that's 8,000, right?
If there's a way that they can make it more expensive, they probably will.
I mean, the most expensive bundle was the Pro bundle.
Yeah.
It's $100, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't see them saying, "Hey, come get this for $150, $200."
Well-
You know what, Lou? Whatever you says, I'm going with because you've been right all the time so far.
I'm about to say
how much
we can go back when I'm right.
If
Yeah.
this
But
is
also,
more than 100, yeah.
is that variant better than the Ivan variant though?
No,
It's
the-
not.
That's one,
No,
no.
the variant's not great, but it's
It's
the
not
token.
better than this variant. This variant right here, I like the most.
Yeah, but look at the Ivan one from the Battle Pass like 2 seasons
bottom-
ago
Yeah,
or
yeah.
whatever. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
This is
No,
sick.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah,
And it's
no.
special because if you didn't play the Battle Pass and I played the Battle Pass, then I have it and you don't.
Correct.
But you know,
Which-
shit. If I paid $150 and you didn't, I have it. You don't.
I mean, I'm still gonna buy it. I'm just not gonna use the
Oh.
variant.
Yeah, we're definitely buying this. I am. So it is what it is.
So I just want to get our predictions. What's your
Uh-huh.
prediction? My prediction is $130.
$100.
I'd say 100. Yeah, I'd say 100.
Surprise, surprise. $50.
Now you're just trying to be different, Ken. You're trying to be the main character here, all right? You
We
can't
go
do it.
$50. We go $50. It's gonna be a surprise.
If
guys
there's
are like,
if
wow,
this
that's the
bundle costs
best
$50, if this
Yep.
bundle costs $50 and has 10,000 collector's tokens, I'll eat a sock.
Yeah, I agree.
First.
Holy
What date is this? What date is this?
Whoa.
I
It's
may have to put
21st.
it in a smoothie or something,
Okay.
but I'll eat a
All
fucking
right.
sock.
All right. I can't wait. You guys heard it here first. Shay's about to eat a sock. $50.
Shade, that
Let's
might
go.
be your first stream when you return. Shade,
Yeah.
Yes, eat a sock. I am
Jesus,
Groot.
Kawa
which
dropping
is,
the fucking behind the scenes info here. Jesus.
Oh,
yes. Oh, damn. Don't worry about it. Nobody heard it. I am Groot. Is it the baby Groot?
It's
Luke
cheapy,
down
your
hip.
baby, right?
Dan Hip, right? No.
Is it Dan
Okay.
Hip?
It's
think-
not baby because we had this
Yeah,
whole.
it's
It is
the
Dan
other
Hip,
day.
yeah.
It's
Yeah, the baby one is.
yeah,
this
the
one.
new baby is the thing, or I think it's the new.
But also, I feel like we already had a baby, the one above that one that
Who's
you just
This is
clicked
what
on.
Luke said. That's what
Yeah.
Luke
that,
said.
that was last week. I have a
we had
baby
that
deck,
conversation.
and I
Yeah.
went in there to put Black Panther in because I got
Mhm.
Black Panther baby, and I saw this group, and I saw that it didn't say baby. I was like, this was baby, right? And I can't find any proof that it was ever
I think
baby.
it
before.
was. I think you're right.
No.
It never
But
I
never
can't find
said
proof.
no. It never
It
said
wasn't.
baby. It always said variant. But I always
Yeah, yeah.
assumed that it was the baby variant because that's what
Right,
it looks
right,
like.
right. I never did. And did you guys hear my story about me having two of the same group variant?
No.
What?
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
All right, so I got to show you guys.
You still have it?
Yeah,
Back to the game. Yeah,
let's go back to the game.
he showed this off last week.
Also, does anyone really need 465 group boosters?
No.
That's an excessive amount. That's like 4 splits, right? That's a
Probably.
lot of fucking boosters.
It's a lot. Yeah.
So for some reason, the game broke itself, and I was able to. Oh, he's a 3. Okay,
Yeah.
I was able to
Oh, what
get
the
this
hell?
group in the collection, and then buy this group the night of it.
The same
So-
night.
Yes. So that's a mistake. I didn't know I already had it in the collection because I was just going through. And then when I went to my shop, I was like, oh, 700 gold? Yeah, let's get it. And the game allowed me to buy it. So it's not until I did the,
Wait, does this mean you could get
recent-
like a bot split on it? Could you like upgrade one of them like a bunch and then try to just upgrade the other one and try to get like only Inky or something?
And disguising
Will
himself.
will the game think it's like the same variant?
Maybe. I don't know. I meant to ask the devs about this, but I
You need
got
to.
two.
You should ask them because that's very strange.
Well, no, they'll take it away. Don't
I
say
know,
anything.
yeah.
Guys,
very-
don't say anything.
Hey, I am the variant god for a reason. So nobody
I mean,
else have
this
two
is
at the same
undisputed
time.
right here. This is
Yeah, exactly.
no one can take this title away from you now. You have the same variant twice.
Not
Yes.
only does he want every variant, he's starting to collect multiples.
Yes. Oh man. All right. So let's get back into this, and then this. Oh no. See, we're not talking about Jeff anymore. Poor Jeff. We spoke about Jeff.
Some of the bundles look super sick though. Yeah. I think the Guardians one was I think it was the next one after the Groot. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait,
So
so why
these
is Groot
awesome
not
looking
just
ones.
in? Why is Groot not just in the
Because
Guardians?
this one is Dan
Because they
Hemp,
want to
and
separate
this
it.
one is Chibi's.
Oh, Chibi.
that's
Okay.
fine.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
god, that Gamora is so fucking cute.
It is cute.
And then we got Trash
What
Panda
the
coming too.
hell?
Yeah, I got
Yo,
Trash on the I think the next bundle down. But
Yeah,
actually,
it's coming.
these ones look sick as well.
Excuse me? Can you make that Lady Sif bigger?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my wow.
Intriguing they didn't choose Lady Thor. But you know what? I'm not mad. This is a sick Lady Sif. Just make her 2 costs again. And I'll
Oh
be
yeah,
happy.
why did they not why didn't they do this for Jane? That is weird.
Right? But-
Especially because I mean, I don't really need another. I mean, it's a cool ass Thor variant, but like Throg,
Yeah.
though.
I
Like-
have so many Thor
I
variants.
know Thor is
Yeah.
pretty good.
Nullify Thor is sick. Yeah. Yeah, they should have been Lady Thor. But all right, either way.
And then the
But this is really
disrespect
cool,
Trash
too.
Panda.
What the heck? Rocket
Oh
Raccoon?
my god, that's adorable. Oh my! Oh,
Gonzalez.
of course it's adorable.
Ryan.
It's Rian. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rianne. I said Ryan. Okay. I've been saying her name wrong the whole time. So yeah.
The rest of it's
Wow.
just collector.
It's further down. If you don't know, there's more. There should be more. Go down.
Yeah, there are more.
This is the one.
Oh.
Jen. This is the one.
Sick.
Oh, Eggs
From
loves
Eggs.
loves this Iceman variant. She's so excited about this Iceman variant.
She's
looks
determined
like-
it's not ice.
Why? It looks
Yes,
like eggs. What is
No.
this?
Like something else.
It looks like not ice.
Oh, stop it. Tell her stop it right now. Tell her stop it right
And
now.
she's not wrong.
At least they did something. So you know
At
what?
least
That's
they
fine.
did.
At least-
They're doing lots of
should
things
be.
apparently. That's
Yes, because that's
a
not
whole lot of something.
what is wow.
Oh,
This
that
Chavez
Chavez.
looks great.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Yeah.
But is it better than the one where she's? Can you scroll down? Which one is it? That the fist punching one.
That
I
one.
This
love
one?
that one. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
so
love
good.
this one.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
gold
And then
the
also
gold
there's a
jackets. Yeah.
Rianne as well. Like I don't
That
even
looks
know.
good. This one's okay.
I'm
I
not
do
a fan of the Venomized one. I don't
Yeah,
think.
no, yeah, it's okay.
Mm.
But this one's definitely sick. Wow. Okay. That's awesome. And then we also have
Baby Miles.
Baby
pretty sick.
Miles. That's
He's
awesome.
so squishy.
I like that.
I just want to squish him.
Oh, we got Norse.
Yeah, the Noir variants. Fucking
that
sick.
top looks good. So there's Black Cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but our germ black cat exists, so I can't do it.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely my
I'm
favorite.
legally
Yeah.
obligated to
That
use art
is-
germ variants if I have them.
I like this one too.
Wait, what is? Oh, I love the Iron, but you see that the 2099 one? I did not see that.
That's sick.
Oh,
Oh, so this one should be out soon too, because I got the
Oh, the animal.
yeah, I have the Deathlock Squawk or Death
What is
Squawk.
that variant name? Black catfish. Like what?
Black Catfish. All right, and we did see this we had
Lizard.
the lizards, which we
Lizard.
saw earlier.
Transformers lizard.
And then we saw the scorpion. We see the hobgoblin. That's pretty sick.
Salt
face.
face.
That's
All right,
awesome.
that Sandman might take over my Chibi Sandman.
Ooh.
These
Did you
are
see the
insane.
title? Did you see the title for the same?
Kind of a jerk.
I don't like salmon. Wow, kind of a jerk. Wow, that's awesome.
These
That
are
should be a Leech title, not a Sandman title.
This is going to be my new Carnage, by the way.
yeah. This is
Yeah,
insane.
this is sick. Both of even the Venom. This Venom is sick
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Well, I got the
you know what I
championship
gotta say
Venom.
here though.
Archer McGinn and the
Archer Carnage.
That one is cute too. I like
I
that.
haven't
one.
seen. I have not seen that card yet. The Archer
Archer
one.
This one?
Carnage.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this one is awesome.
I think I cried
What
when
is
that came
that?
out. my
what
shop.
is that? Oh my
What is
god!
this one?
The Conquest one.
Conqueror.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That
That is amazing.
What is that? No.
It looks like a
looks like it.
Yeah, it's Null. Yeah.
Who's that? Okay.
It looks like
Listen.
no.
Oh, he is. He is.
Oh
he's
yeah.
like,
It's
yeah,
no.
he's- yeah.
Okay, it's all right. But
He's like, Noel's like,
This one
step
and this
on
one?
me. Carnage was like,
These three.
okay.
There's a
all
lot
good.
of good Carnage.
Yeah, they're all
cards.
sick.
yeah, Carnage is killing it. All right. Then we have
Alex-
Spider-Man.
Alex Corley, Spidey, yeah.
That's awesome.
I
And
think
then
that-
that's it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow. Good stuff. Good stuff. A lot of stuff coming, guys. A lot of stuff coming. I'm glad they did this patch. It just goes to say that Second Dinner is listening, and they're gonna do the best they can to make sure that everybody is happy with the meta, because I know a lot of people were upset with Shuri. I think she was fine, but again, it is what it is. And they did it. They did their job. They nerfed her. Leech was a problem, and they did something. So let's see how that goes. And then Lockjaw and everybody else, and then all the cards that's coming, that's going to help out, battle all these other cards. I just hope now that the meta is a bit better. How do you guys feel? You think the meta is going to be a big change? We're going to see better things now, or we're going to see some of the old things just in a different way?
Can I ask everyone for predictions? We're gonna go for so my prediction is I don't want it to happen, but I think we're gonna see Sandman. I'm gonna see R'La, Sandman. I think so. If anyone has any
Sandman meta
predictions of what meta is gonna be, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, Shades.
I mean, it's a little early, but
Yeah, that's Luke's about to say that. He's like, calm down there, Kyle.
I don't really think there's gonna be too much. Like, I think people are probably still gonna play Shuri.
Mm-hmm.
I think people are probably still going to be playing Death Thanos. Like, Sarah Control is a very popular thing as well. I don't really think too much is going to change. I was going to say, Alexa, play Dream On by Aerosmith.
Wow.
What do you think, Luke?
So I think the meta is going to stay same-ish, but will get healthier, as in not seeing the same things, and then like stuff like I was talking about, no more turn 3 leeches and stuff like that. So I can officially drop on my Twitter battles, no Shuri or no leech, please, because I'm fine with it now, or at least until I see that it's still a problem. But yeah, I think the meta is going to stay the same, but I think that's the goal. If you look at the devs when they talk about their balance change and stuff, it's not to complete I guarantee you their goal going into this isn't to completely shake up the meta. It's just to drop some of the higher tier stuff down a little bit and pull a little bit of the lower tier stuff up. I think would be their goal. So
also, there is still like the current iteration of Sandman, like prior to today, was a fairly popular deck. So I don't think that we're ever going to be like full blown Sandman deck is the only thing that anyone ever plays.
That's probably true. Yeah.
But it was already a thing because of Hitmonkey. So
yeah. I don't know. I think we can't play any more Yellow Jacket, right? No more fat Yellow Jackets, because we can't put Yellow Jacket in another lane. Yeah, no more of that. But,
I could literally never. I tried to play that deck so many times, and I can never pull off that combo.
Really? Well, now you don't have to.
Now I don't have to.
I did see a funny tweet shortly after the thing was like, oh, I guess my opponent didn't read the patch notes to Shuri, and someone sheared into Bar Sinister. And that worked before. You'd get the 4 buffs, but now it doesn't. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
No, I agree. I think Thanos is still a strong meta deck right now. Shuri's still good too. I think now it's more armor than Cosmo, right? Because you can still armor on 2, Shuri on 4, Red Skull on 5, and then Taskmaster somewhere else. So
I think if anything, we'll probably see. I mean, my opinion of the old Shuri list would be that it's better now to probably just play the Sauron version.
Yes, 100%. Sauron version of Shuri would be better. So yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. So no new meta, I think, is coming out. I mean, even though Hitmonkey's great, and now we got Jeff, we'll see what cool things people come up with. But no, I think it's still gonna be the top decks will be the Shuri, the Thanoses, and that's about it.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, I have 2 days now to prepare for this tournament. When I was expecting everything was going to be shaken up, whereas things are probably the same, but it's going to be interesting to see, what other people are going to bring. They're going to bring the same stuff, different Shuri lists now.
The
So
difference
I'm
now
excited.
is that you are now a proud member of the Negasonic Teenage Warhead Club.
There you go. There
I
you
will
go.
represent. Yes.
So I hope that card and Shadow King get more love now. That's all.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Thanks for coming. Anything else you guys have to say?
Thank you for inviting me. I feel honored.
Awesome. We're honored to have you here. So appreciate you.
Yeah. Thanks as always, Ken. It's always a pleasure.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks again.
Bye, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.